All right, here we go. This is for Monday the 23rd, which is a B day, and Tuesday the 24th, which is an A day. First off, no clue when I'll see you next. Let's be real about that. Hopefully, you were able to enjoy some of your spring break. Um, I know that I've done a lot of baking and playing with a toddler, so there's that. Okay, so some expectations that you need to know about this time that we are doing e learning, online school, whatever you want to call it. First off, you don't need to check in during our normal class hours. Just make sure that you are checking in at least once a day on your appropriate A day or B day for my class. Things might change. Just keep an eye on it, okay? I know that some of you are taking care of family members or you're dealing with work right now. Do what you need to do to take care of you, but check on your assignment and your required work. Feel free to email me if you need something. I'll do my best to respond as quickly and promptly as possible. If you need a dialogue, a back and forth, we can use Canvas to video chat, though my daughter likes to push all the buttons on my keyboard, so I make no promises to any of that. All right, so your lesson today. We are going to be going back and reviewing some of the grammar structures that we've already talked about, and we're going to talk about some new ones as well, and then you are going to complete an assignment over those things. All right, because for the ACT or for my seniors who are like, I suck at grammar, we're going to go back over these things, okay? So I've got coordinating conjunctions. Been there, done that. We know these. So it is an independent clause, which is another fancy word for complete sentence, a comma, a coordinating conjunction, and an independent clause. So here's an example. At first, I tried to help Xander, but the chlorine always hurt my eyes. And then it's got a parenthetical citation because it came from the book. Nothing you need to worry about for this particular structure, okay? So when we look at the sentence, we identify that there is a comma and a coordinating conjunction. The acronym to help you remember those is fanboys, for and nor, but or yet so. So here we've got, at first, I tried to help Xander. That is our complete sentence, our independent clause. Then we've got our second complete sentence, the chlorine always hurts my eyes. Those two sentences are squished together with one of those fanboys words, for and nor, but or yet so. Grammar number 2, semicolon. Easiest one of all of them. Independent clause, semicolon, independent clause. Please remember that the two thoughts have to be related. You can't just join them together with no common thread because otherwise they can change the meaning of your sentences. So they were high up in the afternoon and advanced, semicolon. The view is not robbed of sharpness by mirage. So we can see that we have our semicolon split in the middle here. On the left of it is a complete sentence. They were high up in the afternoon and advanced. On the right side, we have another complete sentence. The view was not robbed of sharpness by mirage. Two sentences squished together with a semicolon. Grammar number 3, conjunctive adverbs. So another name for conjunctive adverbs are lawyer words. They're like fancy sounding words that a lawyer might use in a closing argument. So your formula is independent clause, semicolon, conjunctive adverb, comma, independent clause. It's impossible to reverse a physical reaction like this, semicolon, therefore, comma, you can't reinstate the lines. So you'll see that we have our semicolon, our conjunctive adverb, therefore, and then a comma. What comes before it, it's impossible to reverse a physical reaction like this, is a complete sentence. And what comes after it, you can't reinstate the lines, is a complete sentence. So what are some conjunctive adverbs? Well, here's some common ones. However, therefore, nevertheless, indeed, meanwhile, otherwise, unless, moreover, additionally, likewise, besides, henceforth, consequently, things like that. Grammar number 4, subordinating conjunctions. So your formula is using an awubis word as part of your dependent clause, a comma, and then the independent clause. As a result, comma, they hated enter. We see our awubis word as. A comma appears after the dependent clause. So if I just came up to you and said, as a result, and walked away, it is not a complete sentence. Subject, verb, complete thought. Those are the 3 things you need to have for your complete sentence. However, this dependent clause is tacked on to the complete sentence, they hated enter. That is complete. So remember your awubis words. Although, after, as, when, while, until, before, because, if, since. Grammar number 5, subordinate conjunctions, the exact same but flipped. So here you start with your complete sentence. You have your awubis word in the middle and then your dependent clause. The truth is that it was planted because I came to Hogwarts. Because is our awubis word. The truth is that it was planted is our independent clause. Now keep in mind, the awubis word is part of the dependent clause. If I came up to you and said, because I came to Hogwarts, it's not a complete sentence. It sounds like I'm answering something, okay? So you have to make sure what comes before the awubis word is complete. Grammar number 6, a positive phrase. Please remember, this is just extra information about a noun. Nouns are person, place, thing, or idea. And of course, I did something funky. There we go. All right, so we have the new mailman, comma, who looked like a baseball with arms and legs and a sunburned, balding head, comma, was chuckling at the sign on the door glass. Appositive phrases are set aside by commas. Now this one has some extra ones because we're listing adjectives, describing words, okay? But when we look at it, all of that is my appositive phrase. Who looked like a baseball with arms and legs and a sunburned, balding head. This is extra information describing mailman. The appositive phrase needs to come directly after the word, the noun that you are trying to describe. If you remove everything in red, if you remove the appositive phrase, left is still a complete sentence. The new mailman was chuckling at the sign on the door glass. Now, you can also use appositive phrases at the end of the sentences. It's perfectly fine. So it would have a comma before the appositive phrase and period after. Perfectly acceptable to still do that. All right, so this is a new one we have not talked about either. Grammar number 7, introductory adverb. Adverb, comma, IC. Well, what's an adverb? Most adverbs end in ly. Suddenly, quietly, harshly. Fastly is not a word. Don't use the word fastly. What you mean is quickly, things like that, okay? So admittedly, comma, my cancer miracle had only resulted in a bit of purchase time. So here we see our adverb, admittedly, and a comma. What follows it is a complete sentence. If I got rid of my adverb, it's still complete. My cancer miracle had only resulted in a bit of purchase time. So those are our 7 structures. Here's what you're going to do with them. And these instructions with the links are, again, posted on the classroom website, oakparkenglish.weebly.com. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into Canvas. You're going to select the discussions. You're going to click on the pinned discussion titled Grammar Poem/Letter, read the requirements, click Reply to type your response. This must be completed by March 31st to get your credit. So your homework. Turn in your blended passage paper via email if you haven't already done so. I have a large number of you, especially in my 3A class, who have yet to turn in their papers. And then complete the work on Canvas over the lesson for today. All right? I will see you again later in the week. Have a good one.